All right, guys, welcome to Breakwall Breakdown, episode 7. Let's get into this. Just want to start off with kind of the disclaimer I'm going to be giving on all these. We should treat the Breakwall like a limited resource. Really like to encourage catch and release. If you're out there, have a bag on board in case you gut hook something. Don't throw back a fish that's dying. But don't think of it as a place to do your grocery shopping. Think of it as a place to play. You don't want to start stripping the playground down to recycle the metal, Not at all interested in naming names, but I had, some people contact me about keeping their catches. Just so everyone knows, if you're booking a trip with me, I do strictly catch and release trips. I mean, we catch a sculpin or something, I don't mind keeping that, but that's not really what we're there to do. We're not there to fill the freezer. So let's get into it a little. We had a little bit of spawn. They weren't going crazy like they were the other week, but there was still a little bit of spawn happening. It never occurred to me that you could have a little bit or a lot of spawn, but the difference in spawning fish between this week and last week was definitely noticeable. I either thought they'd be doing it or not doing it, not like kind of spawning a little, but they were kind of spawning a little. We had some warm temperatures. Further in the back bay, we had it all the way up to, I think, 70 in one spot we saw. But for the most part, it was around 67, 68, holding pretty steady on that temperature. Have not seen any bioluminescence that I can speak of. So that's a great sign. The combination of warm water and no bioluminescence. During the time where we got the sun still out, during daytime into sunset, I've been catching them on paddle tails, but it seemed as the day turns into night that they want those craws. Having some luck on hookup baits, some luck on flukes. But yeah, it seems to still be that craw bite holding strong. Not seeing a lot of them want to play with big stuff. We were throwing out some 6-inch slugs for a while, and we caught a couple on them, but definitely a lot of short bites. But yeah, that's just the current cycle the Breakwall's going through right now. And again, that could change anytime. You never know when the next flavor is going to hit, but we were doing really good again on these 702 craws. There were times when they'd want that dead stick bite, but a lot of the times it seemed like we were getting them as these were falling and just doing that little paddle action. I didn't personally try grub. Grub may have worked. Grub, with them biting on the fall, grub seemed to be something that get bit on the fall pretty often. So that's definitely worth a try. I had him in my box. I just, what I was throwing was working, so I didn't experiment too much. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to write them in. I'll do my best to answer them. I got a couple questions here that were written in on Instagram. Let's go to the first one. Has the bite moved to fin bait presentations? No, you just kind of covered that. It hasn't moved to fin bait presentations. They're still really seeming to like the craw. Have you tried getting creative with baits, chatter baits, spinner baits, etc.? Honestly, I haven't tried spinner baits. I should. I keep a couple of them around. I don't know why I haven't thrown them. I've done some tail spins. I didn't get anything on the tail spin over the weekend. In previous weeks, I did okay on the tail spin, but not necessarily any better than not using the tailspin. I was using the scrounger, which does, chatterbait kind of does this. Scrounger does it more, but side to side. And they weren't seeming to want the scrounger either. So, yeah, take what you want from that. I don't, always worth experimenting and trying new stuff. Got how can I get some S Petite? I believe S Petite is carried by Fish Players. I don't know what shops they have their stuff in, but I'm pretty sure you could contact Raul from Fish Players, and he'll help you out getting the S Petite. Pretty neat little bait. It's got a really small tail on it. Does a little kick. And I will say that Nick from SoCal Fishing Squad was using one of those Friday night. Got the tail bit off, and he goes, it kind of looks like it's still got kind of like a slug type of look to it. And I think he got 5 more fish on it without the tail before it just got destroyed. So yeah, neat little bait. But yeah, that's kind of not necessarily a whole lot to report. We had good nights both nights. There were definitely times where the bite seemed to shut down and we had to move. Saturday we had the bite shut down at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. The bite shut down. Did 5 moves before we got into them again. But yeah, if that bite shuts down, keep moving. Izzy, what's going on? But yeah, this is going to kind of be a short one. If you guys got something to write in and ask it. If not, I'm going to probably turn this one off. Kind of, I would say the Breakwall is one of those things that it changes all the time, but I don't really have a whole lot to report different from last week other than water's a little warmer and no bio as of yet, and the fishing's good. If you want to book a trip, DM me on Instagram, Artemis Charters. Izzy, moving's the name of the game. Exactly, 100%. Got to keep it moving. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. And yeah, see you next week.